Hello, good afternoon. Welcome back to Ask Dr. Lulu. In this video, we're going to be doing part 4 of our How to Raise series. If you've been following me, you will know that in the last 3 to 4 weeks, we've been discussing how to raise well-balanced, well-rounded, productive, mentally stable teenagers. So today is no difference. We're going to continue on that path. The first thing that we want to talk about is, if you're just meeting me for the first time, my name is Dr. Lulu. I am a mom. I am a wife. I'm an exercise enthusiast. I'm a disabled veteran, and I'm a teen expert. We've been discussing basically how to raise well-rounded teens, because I have had in the past few months and I guess years, a lot of my teenage patients who have basically been depressed and suicidal and just having a hard time with life. So if you know anyone who's a teenager, hi Tisha, if you know anyone who's a teenager, if you know any mother of a teenager, if you know any neighbors who have teenage kids, and even if they have younger kids, please invite them to join us. So if you're joining me live, like Tisha and Elise, thank you. Take a seat, and thanks for joining me on a Sunday afternoon. It's a beautiful day outside, so I'm really excited to get going. Please give me a thumbs up or a heart sign if you can hear me very well. I know a couple of weeks ago we had some drama with our mic, so I did a mic check earlier with my son, and he thank you guys for the hearts, and he said everything was a-okay. So I'm gonna get going. If you're watching the replay of this show, of this broadcast, please let me know. Just take one moment to let me know where you're watching me from, so I know the reach of my broadcast. I really appreciate that. Also, thank you for sending me the messages inbox. However, leave your comments on the broadcast. I really appreciate those as well. And sending your questions and sending your comments, that's my boost right there. So I really, really appreciate this. So let's get started. I'm going to do a quick review. So the very first week we talked about charity, patience, gratitude, respect, and empathy. And the second week we talked about imperfection, humility, honesty, benevolence, my favorite word, right? And then last week we talked about self-esteem, how to use your talents, resilience, perseverance, and persistence. So we kind of talked about those qualities in the sense of, if you try to live by example and lead by example, your kids will have no trouble learning them. But we're all parents on this journey. There are no textbooks out there. So we ask that God just gives us the wherewithal to keep trucking and try, especially raising teenagers. I will tell you, it is the hardest thing I've ever done. But I'm still doing it. And so are you guys. Hi, Vicky. Hi, Amanda. Hello. How are you? So let's get going, okay? So today we're going to talk about independence. I'm really surprised that we haven't talked about independence this whole time. Hi, Fumi. Hi, Victoria. And we haven't talked about independence this whole time, which is just really surprising, because I thought, one of the first things we're going to talk about is independence, right? So as early as 2, 4, maybe 4 months of age, a child already begins to play with independence. At 4 to 6 months, they start trying to sit and trying to crawl. That is a sign of independence, right? And of course, before you know it, they're pulling to stand and walking, and then the rest is history. They're going to school, going to college, getting married, and the whole 9 yards. But what is an independent person? So I'm going to define that per Webster's dictionary. Independence, an independent person is someone who is not influenced by the actions or the thoughts of other people. How powerful is that? Give me a thumbs up if you know anybody in your life who is independent. I know this chica. I don't care what you tell her. She's not going to budge. That is the kind of person that you want. I mean, to some extent, it may be too much, but an independent person is someone who's thinking for themselves, acting for themselves. They are not easily swayed by others. You want a teenager who's deep like that. You want a teenager who's not easily swayed by others, because before you know it, that teen is, what is the big thing about teenagers? What are we always worried about? Peer pressure. peer pressure. You do not want a teenager who is easily swayed by their peers. Before you know, it's like, oh, just try this piece, just try this cigarette, or just try this, I don't know, whatever drug. Just try it just one time. It's going to make you feel better. It's going to make all your troubles go away. And your biggest fear is that your child does not fall for that. Actually, you want your child to be the child who is a leader, the child who everybody wants to be like. Everybody's kids want to be like them. They want to follow them. They want to copy them. That's the kind of teenager you want. So how do you raise that teenager that is independent? So one of the first things you want to do is you want to show them love. I mean, I talk about this every week. You want to love your kid. You want to show them that you love them, that they're safe where you're concerned. You do want to love like I always say, you don't want to love too much now to the point where your child is spoiled. We don't want that. We don't want any chiflado kids around here. But certainly you want to love them. You want to allow them to try new things. It's okay to try new things and make mistakes. That's how they learn. So you want to make sure that you're allowing your child to also engage in activities that are safe, like bike riding, for instance. I always talk about bike riding because one of the ultimate tests of the person. You first start, you fall a few times, and then before you know it, you're riding with your hands and your feet up. But once upon a time, you were not able to do that. So that's how you learn independence, trying new things. Cooking, for instance, that's a big deal for me with my kids. I always want them to learn how to cook so that they can be independent on their own. No woman is going to say, because I have boys, so naturally I'm going to say, no woman is going to say, oh, I'm not going to cook for you. Oh no, you're going to walk into the kitchen and you're going to get the job done. Another thing you want to do is you want to allow the child to copy you. Very good. Copy you in all aspects, be it, I don't know, dressing up, putting on your makeup, or cooking, or copying your way, copying your style, copying your mindset. As long as you are exemplary, if your child copies you, which is the best thing that kids do. What I said on my first video is your life is the book through which your child reads life. Your life is the mirror through which your child looks at the world. Your life is the window through which your child looks at life. So your life is very powerful. If you're independent, your child is also most likely going to be independent. But you got to teach them. They learn. One of the last things I want to mention about making mistakes is you can either allow your mistakes to be a mother of success, or your mistakes to be a murderer of success. So you want to allow your child to make mistakes. That is how they're going to grow and become independent. Okay, so the next thing we're going to talk about is responsibility. That kind of goes hand in hand with independence. I'm going to just jump real quick to my sons. I use them as examples all the time, only because it's easy, right? They have chores that they do every day. From when they were, I don't know, 2, carry the diaper bag for your brother, or help your brother dress up, or take your brother to the bathroom, or I don't know, walk the dog. What else? Oh, responsibility, schoolwork. You got to get the job done. Those are all examples of things that I don't even negotiate those. You want to make sure that your child has the responsibility to do their chores. And so chores, for instance, it just kills me when I have a 12-year-old kid that I ask, so what are your chores at home? And they're like, I don't have any. I don't do any. And the mom is like, oh yeah, can you believe I still do their laundry for them? I'm like, why are you still doing your 12-year-old child's laundry? Why are you doing your 6-year-old child's laundry? In the sense that the child can get their dirty clothes, put them in the laundry basket. We're going to walk together to the laundromat or to our laundry machine, and you're going to put your clothes in it. I'm going to teach you how to do it. And then maybe next week you will be independent and responsible for doing your laundry. So I don't play around when it comes to responsibility. Let me find the definition of responsibility to kind of take that home for us. Responsibility. So opportunity or ability to act independently and make decisions without authorization. So my son, he knows he's supposed to get the mail. He's been getting the mail since he was 9. He's 13. Am I supposed to remind him to get the mail? No. And a lot of times what I see parents doing is like, okay, well, he didn't do it, so I did it for him. No, baby. If he's not doing it, you should not do it for him. Again, we want to raise responsible, independent children. So he should be able to get the mail by himself. walk the dog. When they come back from school, he's supposed to walk Lulu. Our dog's name is Lulu. He's supposed to walk the dog. You cannot wait for me to come back at 7 o'clock and then ask you if you've walked Lulu, and your answer is no. You don't want that. You don't want that. You can ask my kids. I don't play that. So absolutely, if you teach them to be responsible, they should already do it without you reminding them to do it. But it starts from when they're 2 years old, when they're 4 years old. You have to find certain chores that you're going to say, yeah, this is the kind of chore that, this is what I want you to do. This is what you're going to do forever. This is what you do, right? So responsibility is one of the things we want to talk about. The next thing we're going to talk about is mindfulness. So before I start talking about this topic, I want you all the parents out there, I want you all to please do me a favor and look up a book called The Mindful Teen. The Mindful Teen is by a pediatrician and adolescent doctor. He didn't ask me to put a plug for him, but I'm doing it because I read the book and I love it. It's by Zhang X Vo. It's spelled D, his last name is spelled D-Z-U-N-G, middle initial X, last name Vo. Rather, his first name is Zhang, middle initial is X, last name is Vo, V-O. I read the book, awesome book, talks about how your mind is basically the ruler of who you are. It's all in the mindset. And when we're talking about mindset, but your thoughts and your mind is what kind of rules your consciousness. So it's amazing the kind of things that can come in to your mind by way of your thought process. If you think that you're happy, if you think that you're going to be successful, if you think that you got this, you're going to get it. On the other hand, if you think that you're bad, if you think that you're stupid, if you think that you're going to fail, if you allow the thoughts to come into your mind and get comfortable in there, you're going to act that way. So you want to raise a child that is mindful. What is the definition of mindfulness? Mindfulness is defined as, I can't read my own handwriting. Hold on. Mindfulness is defined as being aware or focusing or just having awareness of the present. Being aware of the present. Like your mother tells you, be mindful of that, or be mindful of what you say, be mindful of what you do, because everybody else is watching you, right? So mindfulness, that ability to be aware and focus on the present, accepting one's feelings and one's thoughts. But if you're going to accept your thoughts, you better be planting positive thoughts. I say, wake up every morning, put on your big girl shoes, tell yourself you're going to do it, raise up your neck, whip your hair, and let's go, right? You want to have that positive mindset. So mindset and mindfulness definitely go hand in hand. And also basically kind of go with being responsible and being independent. If you have that independent mindset, you're going to be an independent person. And we always talk about how you want to raise the teenager who ultimately is going to be responsible, productive, mentally stable, right? As an adult, but even as a teenager too. So if the teenager is mindful of what they do, mindful of what they eat, right? You are what you eat is what they say. Mindful of what they eat, mindful of the people that they hang around with, mindful of what they're doing on a daily basis. Yeah, thanks for the thumbs up, guys. Keep them coming. Mindful of the things that you're doing on a daily basis. Just being aware of everything you're doing, that people are watching you, especially if you're like, I don't know, the first child like I am, your siblings are watching you. Everyone is watching what you're doing. Like, we're going to see if she's going to do it. You want to be mindful of those actions. And it comes from within. And of course, it comes from when you're young. Your mom has been teaching you, no, don't do that. No, that's not good. No, don't do it that way, or do it this way. And then as you grow up, you become mindful of everything you're doing on a daily basis. So mindfulness. So find that book. That's your homework. Find the book called The Mindful Teen for all the parents out there who are parents of teenagers, and read the book with them. I read the e-version and I absolutely loved it. So I think it's like $9.99 or something on Amazon. So the last thing we're going to talk about is kind of similar to mindfulness, and that is meditation. Meditation is a tough one. But it's something that you can definitely learn. Can I see by thumbs up any of my people watching me live who already do practice meditation? Can I see by thumbs up or a heart sign? Any one of y'all? Tisha, Elise, Achama, hi. How are you? Victoria, any one of you guys practice daily meditation? Yes, no, maybe so. But that's basically, yeah, good. I'm getting some thumbs ups, yes. So it's not an easy thing to do. I mostly do my meditation. I can't really do it first thing in the morning for me because I usually have to get up and just kind of make sure that the kids are fine, the dog is walked and all that. But at the end of the day, before I go to bed, I do try to do my meditation at that time. Turn off your phone. Unless you have a meditation app, but you should turn off your phone. I know my wife has something that she puts on before she goes to bed. It's kind of like a meditation app, and she listens to it. And then the guy's voice is so soft and mellow, and you just want to kind of sleep or cry. But yeah, certainly. Oh, I'm so glad we have a bunch of people that do meditation. That's awesome. So yeah, meditation. So how do you teach your teen to meditate? The first thing you want to do is be a meditating kind of parent, right? Your child is going to copy what you do. Your child is going to copy what you do. So I say first thing in the morning, if you guys are Christians or whoever it is that you look up to as your God or the universe, you want to give thanks to them. You want to first start by saying thank you. It's kind of a harder thing to do when you say, okay, thank God for something, right? It's like, okay, but mommy, my son would say, but mom, we thanked him yesterday for food. Yeah, thank him for food again today. It's okay. Thank him for life. Thank him for health. Thank him for having a home. Thank you for having friends and family members, people you can look up to. It's not everyone that has that. So yes, you want to thank him for that. So absolutely, I say start by thanking him. Also start by reflecting on the things that you wanted to do yesterday. Were you able to do them? Were you able to accomplish them? What about last week? Were you able to accomplish them? And if you were not, what happened? Why did you not accomplish them? Then make a conscious effort today. Be mindful of the things you did today and try to accomplish them. I say write on a journal. I'm a very big journaling person. I just recently started blogging because I've always liked to write. It's one of the things that I love. So worst case scenario, if you can't just sit still, like my mind is always going everywhere, journal, write those things down. That's another way you can become mindful and you can also meditate. So you don't have to do yoga, which I like to do. I do yoga, but you don't have to do that. But that's another way you can also meditate and just kind of bring your thoughts, just calm them down and just kind of be present in the moment. I know people that don't do yoga think yoga is easy, but if you don't do yoga, try it. You see how hard it is. It's very hard to still your mind when you're trying to get into that crow pose. It's very hard to still your mind, but that's one of the things I've found that have helped me to just meditate better and just kind of be present better. So those are the 4 things I have for y'all today. We have one more and then we'll be all done. So part 4 of our how to raise well-rounded, well-balanced, productive teenagers just got done. So we talked about independence, we talked about responsibility, talked about mindfulness and meditation. So I'll see you guys next week. Don't forget to share my page. Thank you for the hearts. Don't forget to share my page. Don't forget to like and tell your friends about me. If it's Sunday afternoon, if it's 2 p.m., it's time for Ask Dr. Lulu. I am on LinkedIn. I am on all the other places. I think LinkedIn, YouTube. I usually just kind of broadcast these videos on YouTube. I'm also present on I don't know, I can't remember, but I'm there. And I have a blog. My blog is called Words by Black Butterfly. I'm very proud of it. Go check it out. And I'll see you guys next Sunday. Thank you so much for joining me. And please spread the word. All right. Peace out. Bye.